Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc. So BT9 is releasing next week. So we got to go through all these cards. We got to figure out which ones are the best, which ones are worth picking up, and just kind of what the set overall feels like. Yeah, that we recently had the EX2 get released, but that was a side set. This is a main set, so it's okay. After this, we'll have like 3 months without any more sets. So we actually finally are caught up with the original plan for release dates for all these sets. So now we'll have our regular stacked every 3 months releases. It feels nice to finally be here. Hopefully we don't have any more delays. We can finally get into these sets. So we're going to go through each and every color of this set. We're going to break it up into multiple videos. So we'll do, red, blue, green, yellow, all that stuff. Each in its own individual video. So if there's a certain color you're really excited about, go find that video. Also, if you're going to be a green fan for this format, check out our Gummymon. This is handmade out of clay by my wife, hand-painted as well. A fantastic memory marker. If you're a Terriermon fan, a Gargomon fan, or just a green fan in general, I think this thing is super, super cute. Also, if you got our Cocomon, this is a great combo piece to go with your Cocomons as well. Really, really like this. You can find that on our Etsy store, link in the description below. Also there, you can find all of our previous memory markers that we featured on the channel, as well as some of our Battle Ready Inc. merch. Alright, and finally we're on to purple, as well as we'll cover some whites here at the end. So first up, we got a new Pagumon, yet another Pagumon to the collection. When attacking by trashing one card from your hand, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP for the turn. Now this is actually pretty cool, because usually stuff like this is like, you gotta trigger it somehow, some way to get like some draws or something like that. This just being able to instantly trash a card from your hand, just super easily, like just when attacking, trash a card from your hand. Like in purple, that's actually super useful a lot of times. So a lot of times you just need something really important in trash. So having something like this at your disposal just to win attack, trash a card in your hand, is pretty neat. I think something like this in Ogremon that gets the security attack +1, like that would be kind of neat to give him a little bit of extra DP buff. I don't know, something to just kind of look at. First up, we got a new Gazimon. So we got our X antibody, but Digivolve 0 from Gazimon. So we talked about this in the other colors, but you can Digivolve this in Raising Area on top of another Gazimon. This isn't an effect. This is just an alternate Evo cost because it's in that black box. The black box is key for stuff like this. So 0 Evo cost on top of a Gazimon to get an extra draw for 0 memory. That's pretty cool. Purple really likes to use Gazimon anyway because it's their memory blocker, and memory blockers are just good, especially in this coming format with stuff like Alphamon being able to gain all that memory. Like being able to turn off that is super powerful. So we'll probably see a lot of Gazimon. This would be a pretty solid include in those decks. And then when Digivolving, trash the top 3 cards of your deck. So that's a little bit more niche, but still there's lots of strategies in purple that really like to have a lot of cards in their trash, particularly Beelzemon. This combo is great with, but even other stuff like Beelstarmon really likes to have a lot of stuff in trash, things like that. So this is pretty neat. Now again, the when Digivolving, the Gazimon will have to be in the play area and not in raising area, so just kind of keep that in mind when playing this card. And next we got a new Drakmon here, so kind of speaking of Beelstar, although this is not a Beelstar focused card at all. 3 play cost rookie, 0 Evo. On play, reveal 3 cards from the top of your deck, add 1 card with Undead or Dark Animal in its trait to your hand, and trash 1 card with Undead or Dark Animal in its traits. Return the rest of the bottom to the bottom of your deck in any order. It's kind of neat. We'll get into it, but the undead and dark animal stuff is all about evoing from trash, so it's really important to get those cards into trash so that way you can evo them from the trash. So this card makes perfect sense for those deck. That's just kind of neat that you can add one to hand and then add a different one to trash. So I just like that versatility there. And then it has the inheritable of when attacking, this Digimon may Digivolve into one Digimon card with Undead or Dark Animal in its traits from your trash by paying its cost. And there we go. We see the rest of it right there. It's just a really cool card. It like kind of just facilitates everything all by itself here in a rookie at that. So I just really dig that. So just a really powerful rookie for that strategy. Next, we got a new Salomon here. So 3 play cost rookie or purple or yellow on top of either egg. This is just another one for like Matadamon decks or Ordine decks that we'll get into. But it's a Salomon, so we got on play, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, add 1 2-color purple card among them to your hand, place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. So this is really similar to the Gatomon that we have seen in the Mass Day deck, but clearly this is a 3-play cost instead of a 5-play cost, so it's not quite as powerful, so you don't get 1 purple and 1 yellow. You're not going to get 2 cards out of this, but it's still reveal 4 and get any 2-color purple. Still pretty cool, and I believe it's any purple card. Okay, so you could get something like a Hell Scythe off of this, so I really dig that versatility as well. Yeah, so it's not just Digimon. You can actually have option cards as well. Next, we got Sengloomon here. So 2 Evo, 5-play cost, level 4. No main effect, just has the when attacking inheritable. You can Digivolve this Digimon into 1 Digimon card with Undead or Dark Animal and traits from your trash for its Digivolution cost. This gives me the vibes, again, like we're talking about with Salomon earlier. The Matadamon Salomon and the Matadamon Gatomon, they both have that same inheritable that's super pivotal because your whole strategy revolves around doing this very niche thing in Mass Day. It's DNAing after you pass turn, but for these guys, it's Digivolving from trash, so it's very imperative that you get these inheritables, and so just kind of doubling up and making sure you're going to get those inheritables. There's really good forethought there of providing both, I think. Next, we got Meiku here, so a new support card for Ordyne or Mass Day, also works in Mass Day as well. It's very similar stats to the Gatomon. We got 5-play cost or 3 Evo on top of purple or yellow. Has the security effect of at the end of battle, play this card without paying its memory cost. This is something similar that we saw in Mass Day with the Witchmon, but Witchmon was able to grab something from trash, whereas this is just plays itself. But it is a duo color, so like there's argument there that it is also a duo color, which is really nice. It's definitely an interesting one. And then inheritable on deletion, if this Digimon has 2 or more colors, gain 2 memory. So, if you're playing Mass Day, you know the impact of losing your Mass Day and how devastating that is. So making your opponent have to pay out the nose to remove that Mass Day off the field, they've got to really pay for it. This kind of makes a Gaia Force like a 10 cost removal option if it's underneath your Mass Day there. So yeah, I think it's a really neat addition, as well as it has a really adorable, absolutely adorable. It's got all the OG characters in the background there, alt art. I really like it. Next, we got Dex Dorugamon here. This is where we're going to get into some really powerful X antibody cards. You're going to see a lot of this in a lot of X antibody decks. Digivolve for 0 on top of a Derugamon. So again, you can just do this in raising area and get a draw, which is really good. Or you can Evo it like normal, but for 3 memory on top of purple or black. But to offset that really steep kind of Evo cost for a level 4. He has the when Digivolving, you may trash 1 card with Dex in its name or with X antibody in its traits in your hand to gain 1 memory. So being able to trash a card and make this essentially a 2 Evo cost helps balance it out, I think, a little bit. But if you just go 0 Evo cost on top of a Derugamon and then use this ability here to gain 1 memory, you just plus 1 memory as well as a draw. So yeah, you really want to go on top of your Derugamons with this guy. And then when Digivolving, if this Digimon has a Derugamon in its Digivolution cards or Digivolve from the trash, 1 of your Digimon gains blocker and retaliation until the end of your opponent's turn. So turning this guy into a blocker with retaliation will definitely make your opponent think twice. Super strong card. Really good. Just a level 4. It is an uncommon. You know what that means, guys. There will be a pre-release of it that will be foiled. This thing's gonna be pricey. I guarantee it. This is gonna be one of those. It's gonna be one of those cards. Next, we got Mccrackmont Vicious Mode. So again, similar stats where we've got the reduced play cost, but an increased Evo cost for level 5s. 6,000 DP is nice because that fits into the realm of your Hell Scythe, being able to play this guy. But on play or when Digivolving, so it's got some nice versatility here. You may trash a 1 card in your hand. If a purple card is trashed this way, delete 1 of your opponent's level 3 Digimon. If a yellow card is trashed this way, 1 of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3,000 DP for the turn. That's kind of neat. It's not like overly amazing. Now, granted, you could trash trash a 2-colored purple-yellow card and get both effects, which would be pretty strong, being able to essentially clear 2 rookies, but like 6 memory to clear 2 rookies, or 4 Evo cost to clear 2 rookies. I mean, and just get a level 5 on field with 6,000 DP that's like super easily killable. Like, it's not amazing. I think this is the weakest card in the line. But does have the inheritable of on deletion. If this Digimon has 2 or more colors, gain 2 memory. So that's nice, at least. Again, similar to that Meikumon, where you really make your opponent pay out the nose for killing your megas. I think another thing that draws this out is it's just it's an ultimate and unknown. So like not having really any good typing, so you're not going to get any of your angel searches and things like that, any of your angel centric cards. I think it's definitely the weakest. You'll probably stick to your level 5s that you've been playing in Mass Daemon. Like, there's definitely argument for Meikumon going into Mass Day, but I think Vicious Mode will probably stay out. Next, though, we got Matadamon. This is a level 5, 3 Evo, 7 play cost, 7,000 DP, pretty standard level 5 stats. When attacking, you may trash 1 card with Undead or Dark Animal in its traits in your hand to have this Digimon get 3,000 DP for the turn. Your turn, when this Digimon would Digivolve into a Digimon from your trash, reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. So what you can do here is swing when attacking. You're going to discard that Undead or Dark Animal, and then you're going to use your Inheritable off your Drakmon or your Sengloomon to then Evo using the card you just discarded. So, and then you can Evo into that card for a reduced Evo cost with a plus 3,000 DP. This is just a really solid card for that strategy. I think it's really interesting. It's very well thought out. I really like that about it. It's a little bit like narrow in like the playability or the amount of cards you can use. At least the Dex Dorugamons are all undead as well. So you can use a lot of these extra cards to kind of help fill out your deck. Usually a problem like this is they'll release a new like archetype, and it ends up being one rookie, 1 level 4, 1 level 5, maybe a level 6, and then that's it. It's like, well, how am I supposed to flesh out the rest of this deck? I've got to have other rookies and ultimates and champions, but we actually have it in this set, so you can actually build this undead deck, and you actually have the cards all contained in the set. So really, really cool, really well thought out. Next, we got a Dexter Greymon here. So 4 Evo cost, level 5, pretty steep, but you can Digivolve for 1 on top of a Dexter Greymon. And then when Digivolving, you may trash 1 card with Dex in its name or X antibody in its traits in your hand to gain 1 memory. So again, this is going to kind of help offset that. So you can either make him like a normal level 5 Evo or make him a 0 cost when you do the X antibody Evo. So that's nice. And then when Digivolving, if this Digimon has Dexter Greymon in its Digivolution cards, or when Digivolving from trash, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. So a little bit of added benefit there of doing the X antibody Evo. Another big one that's just like, it's kind of, if you know the decks and stuff like that, you want a ton of X antibody inheritables underneath your Alphamon Aoryuken, so that way you can essentially Digiburst away all your X antibody inheritables to gain a whole bunch of memory. So it's really important to do all these double Evos, so 2 level 5s, 2 level 4s, and so on. And that's just kind of what your overall strategy is going to be. Next, we got a Grand Drakmon here. So 4 Evo cost, level 6 Mega, 12 play cost, 12,000 DP, pretty solid. When Digivolving, you may play 1 level 3 purple Digimon card from your trash without paying its memory cost. Okay, I mean, that's nothing too crazy. We've seen this before in something like Anubismon, and Anubismon is only 3 Evo cost. But then this one also has the added effect of end of attack. Once per turn, you may Digivolve one of your other Digimon into a Digimon card with Undead or Dark Animal in traits from your trash without paying its memory cost. And there's no like level restriction. So if you got a level 5, you can Evo that level 5 then into another like Grand Drakmon, right? So you can just Evo that again straight into another Mega. That's where the power is, I think. Yeah, it's a 4 Evo cost, but this end of attack ability is very, very strong. Now, I'm glad they made it end of attack and not when attacking, because if you just got that guaranteed before it does the security check, that would be so strong. At least there's like a little bit of a power check there. A little bit, not like a ton, but a little bit. He is still 12,000 DP. Next, we got the Ragdulmon. This is going to be your new Mega here that can go alongside your Matadamon deck. So if you want to build a Matadamon or Dynamon deck then Ragdulmon is going to be like your go-to secondary mega instead of Ophani. You'll probably want to keep the Ophani if you're not going to do Ordine, but I really think that Ragdulmon makes a lot of sense if you're going to be running the Ordine. So 12 play cost, super, super big. 12,000 DP, 4 Evo cost on top of purple or yellow. On play, play 1 purple or yellow Digimon card with 6,000 DP or less from your trash without paying its memory cost. If your security stack has 1 or fewer cards, you may play on level 6 or lower Digimon card with Angel or Fallen Angel in its traits from your trash without paying its memory cost. So that's really strong right there, being able to just bring your Matadamon back potentially there. And then end of your turn, you may DNA Digivolve this Digimon and one of your other Digimon and play into a Digimon in your hand by paying its DNA Digivolution cost. So some interesting plays you can do is go Ragdulmon here for 12, play out a 6,000 DP yellow or purple, DNA those 2 level 5s into your Matadamon, assuming you have the Salomon or Gatomon inheritables, of course. You'll DNA those, Matadamon will do its shenanigans, and then end of turn, you're still in your end of turn phase, it's like a perpetual state. Then you can go Matadamon and Ragdulmon here into Ordinemon, and then do all your Ordinemon shenanigans that we're about to talk about. So that's really nice that you can do like 2 different plays. You can go Matadamon first and then into Ordine, or you can just bring out another level 6 and go straight into Ordine. I really like that versatility there. Also has a really cool looking alt art. Next, we got Dex Dorugorum. So if you don't want to play the Alphamon build, this is going to be your alternative build that you can still play X Antibody, the black, purple stuff. You can still use those cards in something outside of Alphamon. It's going to be your Dex Dorugorum. So it goes in hand with your original Dorugorum that we've had forever. This is going to be basically your new secondary mega for that deck. So 5 Evo cost normally on purple or black, or 2 on top of your Dorugorumons. When digivolving, if this Digimon has Dorugorumon in its distribution cards, or when digivolving from trash, delete all of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level. That's kind of neat. Nice big board wipe potentially, or if they only have one big thing, get that guaranteed big thing. Everyone that's ever played like Happy Bullet Showering, knows exactly how you can like kind of finagle that. And then on deletion, you may play 1 level 3 purple or black Digimon card from your trash without paying its play cost. If you have 5 or more cards with Dex in their name in your trash, you may instead play 1 Dexmon from your trash without paying its play cost. Now, 5 or more is a lot, but you're going to have your level 6, your level 5, and your level 4 in theory. And then Dexmon itself. So that's going to be 4 cards right there. You just need 1 more. Did I miss that? Yeah, the level 6, the level 5, the level 4, the Dex. Yeah. So then you're going to need 1 more Dex card in trash, and then you can play out that Dexmon from your trash without paying its memory cost. And that's huge. That's so super, super strong. Dexmon is like one of the most powerful cards in the set, and being able to play it for free from your trash is exceptionally strong. This feels very purple, like kind of like Don Devi a little bit of vibes there, but we got some X Antibody vibes. I mean, we're doing all kinds of really cool stuff in this one deck. So really cool card. I really dig it. Again, another alt art, actually a really good looking one. Purple got several. Got the Meikumon, we got the Regule, got the Dex Dorugora, got the Ordinemon here, and then of course the secret at the end. Speaking of Ordinemon, though, new level 7 for purple and yellow. Really cool card here. Very interesting, very difficult card, though. I will say that. So 6 Evo on top of purple or yellow megas, or you can DNA for 0 using 1 purple level 6 and 1 yellow level 6. When digivolving, when DNA digivolving, delete one of your opponent's level 6 or higher Digimon and all of their level 5 or lower Digimon. For each Digimon deleted by this effect, recovery plus 1. Talk about a come from behind card. Now you notice this, you only get these effects if you DNA. If you just like hard evo this for 6, you get nothing. You don't get any when digivolving effects. Unlike Mass Day, where at least Mass Day, when you just hard evo it, you do get that recovery at least. But with this, no, you got to do it. So it's really nice that Ragdulmon can play out that the level 6, right? But only if you're at 1 or less security. But I think the power of that is being able to go into the Ragdulmon. For sure, a ton of memory, but then the potential to go straight into an Untitled with that and recover right back up to full potentially and clear your opponent's field. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense that it's as steep of a cost as it is. And then on deletion, you may trash the top card of your security stack to play this Digimon with card without paying its memory cost. I'm not like a huge fan of that, just having to trash my security to bring this out. Now, what's nice is it's infinite, so you can just keep doing it as long as you have security, which is cool. But I think I'd just rather it be like, what is it, the old one? That if it has a source, it could come back, the old level 7 Millenniumon, right? I wish it kind of had a Millenniumon effect, or I just get to do it one time, and it gets to come back for free. But then after it doesn't have any sources and it dies, it just dies for good. I think I would have rathered that. Now, next we got jumping down to our purple tamer here. We got Meiku, or Miko. 3 play cost on play. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 purple or yellow Digimon card from among them to your hand. Trash the remaining cards. An interesting one for sure. It's a purple or yellow Digimon card. I like the versatility there. You can kind of just throw this into several different decks. Being able to just trash the cards. I mean, you could throw this into BL Starmon. You can do the Dark Animal Undead deck. Of course, you can go with the Meikumon as well. This is actually surprisingly versatile, okay? Very, very, very surprisingly. I really dig the versatility here. Similar to Analog Youth, right? But this is purple instead of white, so you can actually like do some hybrid shenanigans or something like that with it. And then all turns, when you would play a 2-color purple and yellow Digimon card, you may suspend this tamer to gain 1 memory. So essentially reduce it. It's not really reducing the play cost. Like the Ragdulmon, you still have to be at 2 memory to be able to hard drop this. So it's not like the Mako would make it 3 or make you be at 1 and you could still play it, unfortunately. So it does gain it back after you've played it. And memory blockers, well, memory blockers wouldn't stop this because it's a tamer. But yeah, you know what I'm saying here. And then security, of course, you to play it out for free. Very cool card. Very generic purple. I really, really like it. Next, we got Dexlution. So 0 Evo cost option. If you have a Digimon with X antibody in its traits, you may use this card without meeting its color requirements. One of your Digimon can digivolve into a Digimon from your trash with Dex in its name by paying its memory cost. Now, that said, you still need to have you still have to meet the color requirements, right? For the Evo there. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. Metal Impulse here. So 6 play cost. Main trash, up to 3 cards in your hand. For each card trashed by this effect, de-digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon, then delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. So if you trash 3 cards, you could essentially de-digivolve a level 7 all the way down to a level 4 and then pop it with this. This is really nice, just it's 6 play cost, which isn't too terrible. It activates in security, which is really cool. I like that it activates in security and doesn't just like add to hand or something. And it's up to 3, so you get a pick. If you don't want to discard any, you don't have to discard any. You can just pop a level 4 for 6, or if it hits in security, you could just pop a level 4 instantly, whatever the case is. And also being able to trash cards in your hand, it's really strong for those like the Dark Animal decks, right, where you get to Evo from trash, or Dexmon, where you need the Dexes in hand, the Dex Dorugorum, you need those Dexes in hand to be able to trigger those abilities. This is just a good one to help get you there, I think. Next, we've got Eye of the Gorgon. 8 play cost. Main, delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. So essentially it's like Trump Sword, but for 1 more memory. But if a Digimon is deleted this way, you may play 1 purple level 3 Digimon card from your trash without paying its memory cost. That Digimon cannot activate any on-play effects. It's been a while since we've seen that text there of no on-play effects. But an interesting one, no, for sure. Like, if you're going to play Trump Sword, at this point, you might as well just play this unless you're specifically playing BL Star and you need those 7 cost options. Because you just get that 3 or the level 3 Digimon right back on field. It's a pretty interesting card for sure. And then the last card we've got is Dexmon here. And this is probably one of the strongest cards in this entire set here. Definitely going to be the chase card that tons of people are going to want, because you can use it in pretty much every single game, every single deck in this entire game. So it has a 20 play cost or 6 Evo on top of purple or black, but you can when you would play this card, reduce the play cost by 3 for each of your opponent's Digimon and Tamers in play. So, I mean, if you're playing against Yellow Hybrid, this thing is almost instantly free. Lots of decks, this becomes a really good, solid card that you can just kind of toss in that can just have a huge impact, because on play when digivolving, digivolve 1 all of your opponent's Digimon, then delete all of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. That's super strong. It's like Alter S from way back then, but I think even stronger, especially if you can play this guy for free and then digivolve 1 your opponent's whole field and then delete a whole bunch of other stuff for 0 memory. That'd be pretty bananas. And then end of opponent's turn, once per turn, delete all of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost. So if they have a field of all the same Digimon, you just get to delete the whole thing right there, as long as they're the lowest play cost. Very, very strong card, super strong. 15,000 DP, a house of a card that's very difficult to get rid of, and you can very freely swing this into security without too much to fear. Now, next, before we look at those white cards, we're going to look at the promos here. We got some box toppers coming out in this set here. So these last 6, minus the baby here, are going to be in the set. So we got a new Wizardmon, so level 4, 2 Evo, 5 play cost. When this card is trashed from your deck, gain 1. So super good card for Beelzemon right there. Anytime you're doing those blind mills from deck, very strong card. Gaining 1 memory, really good. And then when attacking inheritable, you may reveal 1 purple card in your hand and place it at the top of your deck. That's also kind of neat, because if that's an inheritable, you can kind of trigger that a little bit more reliably, and so get the cards you don't need in hand and get them out of hand. Something like a blast mode, right, or a Beelzemon, being able to then just mill that on time when you want to, and immediately trigger those the windmill effects. That's very, very strong. Really cool addition for the Beelzemon deck specifically. I think if you know of another deck that fits into, also definitely put in the comments section. All right, and then now we're going to take a look at those white cards here in the close. First, we got Omnimon Merciful Mode. This thing is super cool. I really love Merciful Mode in the movie, in the anime. So it's really cool that we finally get to see it here. I've been waiting forever, and they really did it justice. These artworks are both super, super sweet. 15,000 or 15 play cost, or 6 Evo cost on top of red, yellow, blue, or green. Don't mind my dyslexia there. 15,000 DP, pretty standard for an Omnimon. Digivolve 3 if it contains an Omnimon. And remember, if it contains an Omnimon, you can just do this no matter what the color is. So if it's an Omnimon Zwart Defeat, you can Evo this on top of it for 3, even though that's a white, or if there's the black or purple ones, whatever the case may be, you can Evo on top of it for 3. And then when digivolving, delete 1 of your opponent's Digimon for each card with Mega in its traits in this Digimon's Digivolution cards. Then return 10 cards in your opponent's trash to the bottom of their deck in any order. It's super strong, especially against purple decks that really like to fill up their trash, just taking 10 cards out and putting them back in deck. They absolutely hate that. It doesn't matter which deck they're using. There's so many purple decks out there that fill up their trash. This is good against pretty much all of them. And being when digivolving, that you can delete a Digimon for each card with Mega in its traits, and there's no level restriction to that at all. So if you've got, say, 2 Megas underneath this, right, a level 6 and maybe another Omnimon on top of it, and then you go into this guy, that's gonna be 2 Megas underneath it, being able to pop 2 of your opponent's level 7s. I don't know what scenario your opponent has 2 level 7s, but you could pop them both with this Omnimon using this when digivolving effect. Really strong. And then start of your turn, trash the top card of this Digimon. If you did, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. So what this means is essentially you're going to de-digivolve this. The Merciful Mode gets de-digivolved, goes to trash, and then you get to clear a security from your opponent's security stack. Just a really cool card. We haven't seen it do too much in the meta, unfortunately, but I do think it's a very, very strong card either way. Next, we got Cool Boy here for your X antibody decks, and this guy is very cool. So 2 play cost, white tamer, on play, reveal 3 cards from the top of your deck, add 1 Digimon card with X antibody in its traits, and 1 option card with X antibody in its traits to your hand. place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. So that's very reminiscent of our Memory Fixer Coda, except for even more powerful because we can also add an option card of X Antibody and its traits. We're going to see a whole lot more option cards now with traits, which I think is very well thought of. I definitely appreciate that. And then your turn, when one of your Digimon digivolves into a Digimon card of the same level with X Antibody and its traits, you may suspend this tamer to gain 1 memory and draw 1. So again, if we go back and look at the Dex Dorugorum here and the Dex Dorugamon, when you do that, you're going to gain that memory back from discarding a card, but then you're also going to get a memory from your cool boys. So essentially you can just plus super, super hard in this deck, especially with the more cool boys you have. That's just even more memory gain. So this guy is only a 2 play cost, right? And he's not a memory fixer, but if you have 2 of them, that's 4 memory, essentially a coda, but double the searches, and you still get the 2 memory that's important for evoing. Yeah. Cool Boy is like almost just like a straight upgrade to Coda at this point. Now, it is a white tamer and not black, so you can't go like Grumblemon on top of him, so there is that trade-off. But still a extremely powerful card, and just you can use this in any X Antibody deck. I keep talking about the Alphamon and the Dorogoras, but you can use it in all your other X Antibody decks as well. And then 2 last cards we're going to look at here is X Antibody, the option card, 0 play cost. If you have a Digimon in play, you may use this card in your hand, ignoring its color requirements. So the fact that it's white pretty much doesn't matter. Security, gain 1 memory and add this card to your hand. Pretty good security effect, if you ask me. I definitely like that. Not too bad there. Main, place this card as the bottom Digivolution card of one of your Digimon with X Antibody and its Digivolution cards, or basically without this card. If it doesn't have this card, you can play it underneath. If it does, you can't. Okay, it specifically means this card. And then it gives it the inheritable 0 evo cost or 0 play cost, and you give your Digimon this ability, this inheritable all turns. X Antibody, this card itself can't be trashed from this Digimon's Digivolution cards by card effects. So if this is the bottom card, it can't be trashed. Super strong, and then when attack, very strong against blue. So just like blue hybrid is like almost dead at this point because of this card. And then when attacking, you may digivolve this Digimon into a Digimon in your hand with X Antibody and its traits by paying its Digivolution cost. So really strong there. It's kind of like the Sengloomon that we saw previously for the Alphamon support, but this time you just get it as this option card, and then you're free to use your level 5s for like your Dorugorummons, right? You can use all your Dorugorummon slots for your level 5s, and you can use this to make up for that Sengloomon that you're not going to be using anymore. So very strong card. And then the very last one we're going to look at here is X Program 0 or 8 play cost, definitely not 0. 8 play cost. If you have a Digimon with Dex in its name, you may use this option card without meeting its color requirements. Again, it's okay though if it's a white and you're playing it in an X Antibody deck, because you'll probably be running the Cool Boy, which is also white. So as long as you have Cool Boy in play, you'll be able to use this anyways. And then main, delete one Digimon without X Antibody in its traits. If both players have 3 or more Digimon in play in total, so both players combine, if they have 3 Digimon, delete all Digimon without X Antibody in their traits instead. This is a really cool card. It's really, really strong. I think it's not going to be very good in this format, though, simply because there's going to be so many people playing X Antibody. Now, later formats where you don't really see people playing X Antibody anymore, man, throw an X Antibody deck together and throw this card in there and just watch them squirm. Super strong card in the correct format. In the wrong format, completely worthless. And that will do it for our white and purple cards there. I don't believe I missed anything, or at least hopefully I did not. And that'll do it. We've covered every single card in this set. So definitely excited for it. Just a few more days, less than a week left before BT9 finally hits shelves and we can get our hands on these guys.